Okay, we're reviewing for the test tomorrow. Problem number 1, 400, you're going to calculate each unit rate. I'm going over the review. So if you have 420 meters for 20 seconds, what you would do here, you would simply divide 420 divided by 20, because you want to know how many meters is that per second. So you want to know how many meters is that per second. That means the 1 needs to be in the denominator. So if you divide both the numerator and denominator by 20, then you know you're going to get an answer of 21. Okay, this is problem number 2. It's still calculating unit rate. So if you have 192 pounds, and there's a typo there, should be dog food, for 16 dogs, you just simply divide, so that's 192 pounds of dog pounds over 16 dogs. So you would just simply divide by 16 because you want the 1 to be in the denominator, because you want to know how many pounds per dog. So once you divide that out, your answer will be 12. Now for number 3, it says the prices of different sizes of bottles of sport drinks are shown in the table. Which size bottles cost the least per ounce? So you first have to figure out how much is each ounce. So you have to divide the size, which here, the first one is 8 ounce, into the price, which was 0.89. So then the second one, you have to divide the size, which is 16, into the price, which is $1.09. So once you divide all of those, so if I divide this out, I'm just going to go ahead and to give you what I've got. I've got 1, to round off to 2. So this is point, okay? So this is about, each ounce is about 11 cents, okay? And the next one, it would put the decimal here, and you have 0.006. So now each one here is about 1 cent. Okay, it's sort of hard to get less than 1 cent. Okay, so you would still go and test each one and determine which one gives you the the smallest, which one costs the least per ounce. So the answer is the 16 ounce costs the least per ounce. Okay, because when you divide it out, it's just 1 cent per ounce. And so that's the answer to number 3. Okay, for number 4, this is number 4. Many times you have trouble reading the problem, whether the 3/4 is the fraction or is it the 4/4 is the fraction. So on the test, I'll be happy to read it for you so you'll know which is the fraction, which is the whole number. Here for number 4, the fraction is 3/4 divided by, 4 is the whole number. So you know that's the first thing you do is write it down. Then you go 3/4, change the division to multiplication, take the reciprocal and multiply by 1/4, and you multiply straight across and you get 3/16. That cannot be simplified. So if you go to the second one, you have 7/2, okay, divided by 3. So 7/2 is a fraction, and the 3 in the bottom is the denominator. So you would write 7/2 divided by 3. And the second step is 7/2 times, so you got to multiply. We take the reciprocal to be 1/3. The last test, you have forgotten to take the reciprocal. Then you would multiply straight across and you would have 7/2 over 6. Change that that improper fraction into a mixed number to 1 1/6. Okay, I have an error in this one. So this was 7 over 2 divided by, it should be 2/3. So let me just make the correction here. So this should be 7 over 2 divided by 2/3. So I'm going to have 7 over 2 times 3 over 2. Then 3 times 7. So you'd have 21 over, you multiply straight across. Okay, this is the last one. I miscopied it. So that's 7 divided by 2/3, and that's the same as 7 divided by 2/3. Then I have to multiply 7 times 3 over 2, multiplying straight across, that's 7 over 1. 3 times 7 is 21 over 2, and the final answer, this is for number 5. The final answer would be 10½. Okay, we had done number 7 in class on yesterday. So the answer for number 7 is 85.06 seconds. If you need me to do it more later after the recording, I will. For number 8, you are to determine whether the situation represents a proportional relationship. And in the table for number 8, you have earnings is 14 over the time, which is 2. The next part, the earnings, is 21 over the time, which is 3. The earnings is 28 over the time, which is 4. So you know each of these, if you multiply it by 7, it would be a proportion. So if you were to divide 2 into 14, you're going to get 7. 3 into 21, you're going to get 7. 4 into 28, you're going to get 7. So that is a proportional relationship. Whereas number 9, in that table, it is not, because you cannot divide each one and come up with the same number. So number 9 is no. Looking at number 10, John fills 16 glasses with 3 containers of iced tea. How many glasses can she fill with 9 containers? So if you have 6 glasses with 3 containers of ice, so you have glasses over ice, well it's 16 rather, over 3 containers. So you want to know how many, you have how many glass containers or how many glasses, that's unknown, would be 9. So if you would multiply 3 times 3, you would get 9. So it's the same proportion. If you multiply 3 times 16, you would get 48. So the answer would be 48 glasses. Number 11. Mary bought 4 pounds of bananas for $2.38. How much did the bananas cost per pound? So in this problem, you're going to have to divide 4 into the total cost. 4 pounds for $2.38. So how much is it per pound? So when you divide 4 into 23, you will have 5, because you can't divide 4 into 2. So you have to bring the decimal up. So now you have 4 times 5 is 20, bring down the 3. So subtract 3 and bring down the 8. 4 will divide into 38. 9 times, that's 36. Subtract, then you have 20. 4 will divide into 20 5 times. So you can round that off to 60 cents per pound. Number 12, the speed limit in a school zone is 15 miles for 1 hour. I've written here. How many feet per hour is this? First, you have to determine how many feet is in 1 mile. So there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Okay? So you have feet in 1 mile. So you want to know how many feet is that per hour. Okay? So the end result, you want to know feet per hour. So now you can cancel out the M. So now you have the feet per hour. So you multiply the 15 times 5,280 and you get 79,200 feet per hour. Looking at number 13, it reads, Miss Scott is spreading mulch in her yard. She spreads 6 2/3 yards in 2 hours. How many square yards can she mulch per hour? So you're going to have to divide 6 2/3 divided by 2. So you have to change that mixed number into an improper, which is 20/3 times, you take the reciprocal of 2 and make that 1/2. Multiplying straight across, you have 20/6, and change that into a mixed fraction. 3 2/6 reduces to 3 1/3. So she's saying she can mulch 3 1/3 in her yard, okay, and per hour. Okay, she can spread 3 1/3. So you can check your work. If you add 3 1/3 to the 6 2/3, okay, you're going to get, you're going to add 3 1/3 plus 3 1/3, you're going to get 6 2/3. So you just split it in half. Okay, let's look at number 14. So this is a review of integers. If you have -6 minus a -4, remember you have to change the signs. And so you're going to look at, you have different signs. You have a -6 and a +4. So the answer is a -2. Different signs, subtract. And if you have the next one is 12 minus 14. So you can use the number line method. So if you're at 12 and you go back 14 units, you will be at a -2. Or you can look at, this is a +12 minus 14. So you subtract. And what's larger? -2. Okay? Because one's a positive and one's a negative. The next one, if you have -12 plus a -35, it's like if I owe you $12 and then I borrow another $35 from you. So I'm going to add that together to find out how much I owe you, which is $47, or it's a -47. The next one, if you have 7 minus a -19, the parenthesis just separates the signs. So now remember, you're going to, if you have a double negative, it's the same as a positive. So when you add it together, because they're both positive numbers, it's 26. And the last one is 61 plus a -32 minus 13. So you're going to have to combine the first two first. So you'd have 61 minus 32. So you're going to subtract that because it's two different signs. So if you have 61 minus 32, and then you have 29. 29 minus 13, because it's a positive 29, because 61 is larger. So 29 minus 13 will give you 16.